Hey guys, it's Scott with Scotty B Cards. In this episode, I want to talk about market manipulation and shill bidding and the crazy rise of certain cards and how it can affect the hobby and how it can affect you and how you want to make sure you're not being taken advantage of in this system. So the card I want to discuss is the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout. Right now, the PSA 10s have jumped from about $3,000 less than a week ago, up to about $9,000 to $10,000 in some cases, which is ridiculous. That should not happen in a true market, especially because there's been no games played. And on top of that, there's been no news for the Angels. They haven't signed Bauer. There's no reason to think that they're going to be any better right now. I'm not saying it can't happen, but because there's no news, he wasn't traded, nothing happened. There is obvious manipulation in most cases. So I want to just show a couple different auctions on my screen. I don't want to take too much of your time tonight, but I want to talk about this issue because it is a big problem. I don't want any of you to be taken advantage of. So here is an active listing of a 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout. It was listed, probably a 7-day auction, so it's only a few hours ago it was actually listed. So one way you can tell if there was any sort of shill bidding is over here on the right, and this only works in public auctions. Most people are, even Probstein is a public auction. Probstein is a really big auction house, and so they have a lot of high-end cards. You can see there like who's bidding on what to an extent. PWCC recently went private, and you'll see a ton of shill bidding and higher than ever prices at PWCC because people can't see if anybody's bidded up who has zero feedback. So what you want to look for, people with zero feedback, and on top of that, people who have a high percentage of their total bids of their account bidding on that person's account over and over. So let's look real quick. So the first thing you'll see is it's just crazy how quick it's all going up. But let's go click on some of these people. So this person, bid activity with the seller's 2%. That is good. That means realistically, most of his bid activity is not with just this seller, but it's all across eBay. And ironically enough, it's been this seller a few times. But if we go to this guy, the lower the eBay score, the more likely that there is going to be some shill bidding going on. Not always, but it is probably the case here, I'm assuming. Yeah, there you go. 99% of this person's bid activity with this seller is with this specific seller. That means 99% of the time, the person with 30 positive feedback is going to be bidding on this other seller's cards. Not a big auction house, just someone random, which is a definite sign that this was shill bid. So this was shill bid by this person. You can even see every time they bid, you can see a ton. You see all of the times they've slightly raised it from 5,600 to 5,650 to push them up and push it up and push it up. But that was all the way from when he pushed it to 1,000, then 2, 3, 35. That might have been just his high bid, and someone finally passed it, and then he outbid them again. Someone passed it, he outbid them again. Someone passed it, he outbid it again. That's just that person literally bidding up his card. And that is what's the problem, because there's no way this card should be $6,000 when it was $3,000 a week or two ago. So just be careful of that. Make sure you can go in, you can go look, and the way you get there again is just clicking on this little area. I also wanted to look at a finalized auction. Here is a Mike Trout update, already lower than a lot of the listed cards. But let's go see if there's any weird stuff going on. I already see one, and you guys probably already see it too, is right here. Zero feedback, bid it up to $4,350. So whoever the seller was, he used a different account, whether it's his or his buddy's. 33% of his activities with this seller, anything over 10 to 15, I would think is a little suspicious. If it's above 30, it's a sign it's being shill bid. We've all seen shill bidding happen, and it's too bad because it really does detract from the hobby, and it's just people trying to pump up the market. And there are a lot of long-term bad things that can happen from shill bidding, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you can see this person, he bid it up to $4,350, and then it just went off. Past that number, I haven't looked yet. Let's see. Even here, 17%. So that's another account, whether that's his buddy or his other account that was also bid up. Because a lot of the times there's no way, if it's a true seller and buyer, you're going to be having that high of a percentage with somebody else, unless it's like PWCC or Probstein and you prefer to buy with them exclusively. So this poor sucker, he's at 18%. So it looks like they're just all bidding up. And the whole purpose of bidding up a card is so that way, let's go look at this. People like me and you who miss out on the PSA 10 because it jumped from. Also, the way you get here is you can go search a card. So Mike Trout, 2011 Topps Update. I'm not going to do the PSA 10. We're just going to do Topps Update right now. So what happens is because these cards get bid up so high, it will allow other sellers to list their cards high, and that becomes a new normal. Once it becomes a new normal, all of the cards underneath that card, let's see, there's a PSA 9. Here you go. Here's a PSA 9 that is now $2,000 when last week it was $1,000 to $1,200. And that's going to end at least $2,500. You know, that's just how it's going to work because people don't want to miss out on the boat. It's all reactionary, and people know how to manipulate others to feel like they are missing out, so they buy, and it just causes a big price increase until everybody realizes it shouldn't be worth that much, and either there's a collapse or it can just hurt the market in general because people might leave the hobby because they were just burnt off of someone else's shill bidding. So that's the one thing I want to poke at is let's go look at some PSA 9 sold auctions and see what those are even going for now. Oh, it's a PSAP, sorry. PSA 9. So you get to a sold auction again, you go to advanced over on the side, click on sold listings, hit search, and you'll pull up all the sold listings. So even here, today, they were going for $15.99 and $2,000. This one's probably a real sale. It's an autograph and it's auto 10. These are really hard. Mike Trout doesn't sign these anymore. So that's probably real, but $15.99, $15.99. Let's see if there's any auctions anywhere. And you can see that everything else now is all fake, essentially. So I wanted to get this out tonight so we could look at it. Let's go look at the listing here. I haven't checked this out either, so this might not be the case. It might be people just not wanting to miss out anymore, but we can go find out. The top bidder has a 10% bid activity with the seller. This is Probstein, so it's harder to say that it's shill bid, but still 10% is really high. It could be their dummy account that they use. So they submit their card to Probstein, they sell it for them, and then they use this dummy account to bid it up slowly. So that could be the case here. Let's go look at the other people, see if there's anything higher. There you go, 30%. So it is shill bid. Most likely. Again, most likely. I can't prove it, but if it was me buying this card, I would not like that this person keeps bidding it up from 1835, 1885 in tiny increments, so that way he can get as much money out of this final person buying his card as possible. So anyways, that's just one thing I want to talk about. Do not fall victim to shill bidding. Go check the auctions you're bidding on and make sure that other people aren't pushing it up. Make sure you can look at the bid percentage per seller just by clicking on their little name. You can't see who it is, but you can see the bid activity with somebody. Don't let that happen to you. That sucks. Nothing's worse than paying more for a card than you need to, especially when it's not worth that much. And I'm not saying the Mike Trout isn't a very valuable card. It's a very fantastic, super valuable card. But the fact that you can get a Mike Trout PSA 10 update for $10,000, that's ridiculous. Especially because that's kind of what they're going for right now, according to the market, even though the market has been manipulated. So yeah, guys, just make sure you're buying careful. Make sure you're looking at every auction to see if anybody's shill bidding it. The last thing you want to do is pay a premium for a card that's not worth that much and then eventually be bitten in the butt if they do drop back down, because they're going to have to eventually come back to earth. No one's going to be paying these prices. There's only so many times flippers can flip a card until someone's left holding the bag. Don't let that be you. So other than that, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I enjoy making them. I enjoy sharing some of the stuff I've learned with you. And let me know your thoughts down below, what you think of shill bidding, if you've seen it, and all of that good stuff. Other than that, guys, have a great day, and thanks for watching.